Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I like my haters like my coffee extra mad and bitter. Internet lawyer, I like you, so yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. My style faceless, just pick these mic skills. An industry killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal clip. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my souls. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated outside 14s, crushing all those losers. It's that umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense our goal and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe is meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in the basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make-believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. I'm dumping all my verbal clips, the case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'm taking the mic and boom, they're in the chalk outline. I used to throw elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn. Did the fourth estate start channeling crash and burn? They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition. It's that umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
Oh my God.
Man, that bass.
Hashtag Cockroach Crew checking in. I'm jamming in my studio to that. My God, that's hot, Tug.
I like some of those. I like all the ego-driven ones. They're really good.
So good. I like my haters like my coffee mad and bitter. Oh, so good.
I liked it. I was I like the listen and believe line too. You know, the listen and believe.
And the third verse that you added afterward, like the third verse is awesome. I got to tell you, I'm into the whole thing. It's great.
Yeah, I think they get better every time. I was like, the media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe was meant to enslave you. I was like, hell yeah.
Bumps is right.
It does.
Hot pants on roaches. That's right, folks. Hot pants on roaches. Let's get that roach groupie cash under the refrigerator. I'm in. I'm here for it. I'm
feeling it. Yeah. Why don't you, if you like this content and you would like to underwrite my music writing addiction, please. I swear. I'm trading sleep for those, basically. Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, I think it was my sister-in-law, because she's like, does Tug ever sleep? And I went, actually, I don't think so.
I read a very little sleep until I'll have like a day. So one day I'll just crash and burn, but I'm like, oh my God. It's so hard to run at that. Yeah. So apparently we have a fan that is going to sue us all. And
he's screaming at the clouds in the sky. everyone is getting sued.
Well, you would think that would be. Yeah, he's supposed to be a free speech lawyer, right? So you would think going
To the
out and
point
doing all this.
where he has defended the dregs, the lowest of the low, the kind of people that I don't even think Nick Rekieta would defend. Like, I don't, maybe that's going out on a limb, but that Nick Ritchie guy, I did some research on thedirty.com. There were like, 5, 6, 7, maybe more unalivings because of what was on that platform.
See, that's crazy. I was reading a little bit about it, and it was, there are sites out there that ended up dropping off the map because they were full of revenge prawn and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it sounds like that's what we saw, but this guy, what really gets me, see, if you sell yourself as a free speech lawyer, those circles, we've seen plenty of the big lawyers that come out of there. I'm not going to name any in that specific, but I'm sure people know a few of them. Some of them are pretty big, and yeah, this is one of the guys some of them follow, and some of them apparently interact with. He's one of them, and this fucking clown starts shutting down free speech, saying, he said, so today, of course, we have a wonderful video to go over with Dave, the Dave Neal stuff. But he said this on Twitter. He said, I'm commenting because there's a huge amount of misinformation being spread unfairly about Laura. The purveyors of these lies will likely get sued in the future. So he made it very clear. Yes, he's telling her to sue everyone.
Yeah, and I'm flabbergasted. My gasted is flabbered over it because, frankly, his only charge, by the way, the only cause of action, let's say, that he could be bringing or that he has talked about is that she has been called a liar. Now, I don't want to get into it, but I have a list, Tug, of 8 things I came up with off the top of my head where I can show that Laura Owens lied about a bunch of shit. Once you've lied about one thing, let's just pull out one thing, very easy. She lied about the sonogram. She lied about doctoring it. She got caught under oath admitting that she doctored a sonogram. She changed the name from, she alleges, Planned Parenthood to Smile, SMIL. It is not Southwest Medical Imaging. It is not, we don't know where it came from. And either does she, apparently. She claims it came from Planned Parenthood, but she went to Planned Parenthood anonymously. Well, guess what? We've made phone calls to Planned Parenthood. You cannot see them anonymously. So there's 2 lies right there. Where's my lied button? Here it is. 2 lies.
She lied?
She lied. Once a liar, always a liar. And I cannot be sued for calling someone a liar when I can demonstrably prove that they lied.
She lied?
And she did lie. She lied about, let's just say that one thing, just the one thing, just the sonogram. It doesn't matter if she lied about, she thought she was pregnant, and I'm supposed to give her a pass because she believed it. She believed her lie that she was pregnant, or even that she was pregnant at all. Let's say she was. It doesn't matter if she was pregnant and then lost the babies. She dragged someone through court pretending she was still pregnant through November. Like, there's so many lies, you guys. There's so many. And coming up soon on my channel, I will be doing the lies of Laura Owens. This guy's out of his damn mind if he thinks he can sue anybody for defamation for calling Laura Owens a liar, because Laura Owens has demonstrably lied multiple times.
Well, this guy's going to have, what else is he going to? He's gonna be like, "Oh, they're such meanies. They say so many mean things," and I'm like, "Fuck these sick, selfish, lying assholes. These vile scum. I mean, people are not helping anything. They're human cockroaches spreading feces on the floor and then spinning the facts to make them more dramatic than they really are in hopes they will drive traffic. One day, these trash humans will wake up and realize they are lying for money. It's not a good way to live. Or maybe they'll never see their sins. Apparently, my judge, so fuck you and your sins. Either way, I look forward to reading their obits briefly before throwing them in the trash where they belong. Now, he apparently thought that was bad enough to delete it. You know, he also got a lot of shit about the special education statement he made. He did. He ended up deleting it, and oh my God, did he delete his answers? He did. Look, oh my God, you know what's so phony about it? So he answered this person about these things, and it looks like, I'll have to look over it just to make sure, but I believe these were his replies, because he apologizes and is like, oh well, you know, to say I'm sorry, maybe I could send a gift card or a pizza. You know, he's telling you he's wrong. He's in the wrong here. So,
and he's going to offer you a gift card. He's going to send someone, he's going to send someone on Twitter a gift card because he called her a special needs mom. What kind of a douchebag? This guy is the lowest of the low. He calls us pond scum. Well, pond scum at least floats. Whatever he is has sunk to the bottom of whatever the lowest point on earth is. Where's the lowest point on earth? I'm going to find out, because that's my next meme about this guy. The lowest point on earth.
It points right to his office.
Oh,
You're like,
it's the Dead Sea. This guy is something creepy crawly at the bottom of the Dead Sea. Okay? Just saying.
I would have loved, though, if you would have pointed there and it was like, it pointed right to his office. You'd been like, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
This Dave freaking video is pretty fascinating today.
Oh,
her lawyer emailed me.
You know what I have to say about this, though, that really bothered me the second he starts talking in this video? I do not like the way Dave looks. Or sounds like he's had a difficult week, and that pisses me off.
He's worried, man.
Oh my God. It pisses me off so bad. I can't even tell you. I feel like my little brother came home and told me that somebody stole his lunch money and like punched him in the mouth in 2nd grade. That's how I feel right now. That's the rage inside. I'm like, who is he? Tell me who he is. I'm going over there. I'm going to beat the shit out of him. Who did this to you? I can't take this look on his face. I can't take it. He's the nicest guy on earth. This is the other thing, the other irony that kills me, Tug, is that this guy defends the lowest of the low. Nick Ritchie, there's no excuse for a person like him. He even knows how terrible he is. He shut down the dirty.com because he said he wanted to be a better person. Like, he acknowledged what a bad person he was. So that's the kind of guy that this lawyer defends. Dave is not that guy. Dave is the opposite of that guy. He is such a good guy. He's the nicest guy. He has given Laura so much leeway. He has offered things to her like, look, we'll all forgive you. We'll all forgive you if you just be honest. Just come forward and go get some help, and everyone will forgive you, and we know you need help. And he's been so, I don't know, magnanimous. And this guy, he actually changed his Twitter bio. Did you see that, Tug? He changed his Twitter bio to, I will defend you, even if you're 100% wrong, unless your name is D, and then he put blank spaces for Dave.
No, he's talking about, it has something to do with Dick. That's what it is. It's not Dave.
No, it's Dave.
No, he likes the Dick. Oh, wait.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
oh my God.
About his prick collection.
Yeah. Look, it's a joke.
It's
a joke. That's what he's saying. It's in his so he's like, I'm not going to get sued. I see it. That's here. Let me see.
No, he's targeting Dave specifically, and frankly, I think he's doing it strategically because he knows that Dave had his big his family baby shower this weekend, and he dropped this on him right before that happened.
I think this is a come on. I think it's a come on for Dave Neal. He's saying, it's like he's playing that because it's really, he's saying, no, that's not Dave Neal. That's what would that be? Dig something? Knobs? I don't know.
Dick Knobs. Except for you. Oh, I can't. Dick noobs, dick nipples, dick nipples.
Dick
There you
nude.
go. Dick nudes. He's
It's
asking
really
for dick nudes? What
it's
don't-
actually no, it's a it's a message to Dave. He's like, I really do approve of those short shorts. And you live however you want, David. I don't care. That's okay with me. But I don't think Dave's in the market.
I am so annoyed with this man. How dare he? And you know what? Of all the people to come after, honestly, Dave is not that guy. Dave has been so magnanimous. I'm the one who's been like, fuck her. She's out of her mind. Like Dave, it's incredible to me that he's picking Dave. Dave is the nicest guy I've ever met on YouTube. Like, sorry, Jeff, you're like maybe number 2. But I see Legal Vice is in the chat. Dave is such a sweetie.
No, behind the scenes, like Legal Vices is like, I'll cut you. You don't want him. He's bad. He's bad.
Well, I will tell you, Legal Vices doesn't put up with any shit. He does not suffer fools. So I will give him that.
That's good, man. That's good.
No, he doesn't. But Dave, on the other hand, is like, he wants to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. He believes in a friendly universe, Like I keep telling you, he's not black-pilled like us. He's so optimistic, and he's always like, let's all get along and we can all tolerate one another. He's a great guy. And to have this bottom feeder, this bottom dwelling, scum sucking bottom feeder coming after Dave Neal when he would stick up for guys like Nick Ritchie. Ugh.
Get the fucking chainsaws ready.
Chainsaws ready.
That's
a
how I
song
really
right
feel.
there too.
Chainsaws. Then my next song that I'm going to hire you to write me will have "Get the fucking chainsaws ready" in it.
I tried metal and it came out really well, but I just need more bass right now.
I need more. That bass line in that new song is like, it is so good.
You have to put in like a description of what kind of music you want. So, I've been mixing genres, but at the end of mine, I'm like, bass, bass, bass. It really does say that.
Bass.
It says
It's
bass,
all about that bass.
bass. I mean, I put bass in there like 13 times, and it did give me a nice bass line. So, oh man. So let's listen to this. I think this is it's fascinating stuff. Not only that, I think out of anybody, there's always one person that just they know a case inside and out. And the guy they've tried, I think personally, I think part of the plan here is, of course, to be as salacious as possible and to deflect away from what's really going on. But it's also to intimidate Dave into silence. And anybody else that's around there too. Because, like in those statements of when he's talking about people, he's not talking in singulars. He's talking about purveyors, plural, cockroaches.
Cockroaches. Oh, in his email, by the way, which I have a copy of it, but I can't read it because I just can't. I've been asked not to read it. But I will say there is something about me in this email. And so I think I can at least say that part since it's about me. He calls me, and I'll put it in my own words, but he calls me he claims he never thinks about me. At the same time, he says some MAGA wannabe YouTuber, I think that's what he called me, a MAGA wannabe YouTuber, something like that. He mentions me twice in this email. So for a guy who says he never thinks about me, Douche Canoe, I think you think about me an awful lot. I think I'm living rent-free in your head. And I think it's pretty interesting that you didn't send me an email. You sent it to Dave. Why don't you try sending it to Big Sis and see what fucking happens to you? Send it here. Send it here. I'm telling you right now, send me your cease and desist. Send it to me. Dave's too nice. He's actually going to do what you asked him to do and not read this ridiculous email publicly. And I respect Dave, so I won't do it either. But you send me one. You want the the publicity, because that's all you're doing this for, send it to me, you dickbag.
It'd be like, I'll bust your ass down to clown school again.
We'll bust your ass. Like, come on. You
I'll
want
put it
some
to
of
music.
this?
I'll
You're
put
the
it to music.
Conor McGregor of litigators, but you avoided me. You avoided Tug. You got my email. It's meganfox.writer@protonmail.com. Let's go, motherfucker.
It's also funny that you've said many times, like myself, it's like parties, fuck a party, and all this, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This dude is so obsessed with the orange man and all this shit. Oh my God.
I know. Well, why is he calling me MAGA, by the way? By the way, I don't know, for those of you who know or don't know, I haven't endorsed anybody this election season. You know why? Because it's all a fucking clown show.
Because Kanye's not running.
Because Kanye is not running.
Yeah,
and by the way, the last time I wrote anything about Donald Trump, I believe was in 2020. What year is it again? 2024. Holy shit. I don't think I've mentioned the man's name since 2020, but somehow I'm MAGA all the time. Like, fuck off. Yeah, I've got a hat. Big fucking deal.
I looked at my computer to see what the date was. I was like, wait, you asked the year. I was like,
I know, so did I. I did too. I was like, what year is it? And I was like, oh shit, I don't actually know.
Yeah. Pregnant pause. You be careful about those pregnant pauses. They take too long. They might be twins.
He doesn't even know what I'm talking. He doesn't even know who I am. He should go back and read my articles over the last 4 years, because I don't think I've mentioned Donald Trump other than to tell a joke here and there at all. Like, fuck off. And I'm about making Americans friends again. That's my motto, make Americans friends again, because people like him have tried to divide people about politics that doesn't matter, because they all hate you. Everyone's trying to take your money, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. None of this shit matters. So we should just focus instead all of our attention on people like this douche canoe lawyer who's trying to destroy Clayton Echard's piece and Dave Neal's piece. I don't like the look in his eyes, Tug. I don't like the look in my Dave's eyes. I don't like it. His eyes are bloodshot. He hasn't had any sleep, and I don't like this at all. This pisses me off because he's targeting Dave because he thinks he can. Why isn't he coming after us, Tug?
Because he knows Dave will. He knows Dave is afraid to hurt people's feelings. He knows Dave is vulnerable right now because new baby and all of that. And he is the biggest target out there right now. Silence Dave. And they figure they'll silence a lot of it, because, Dave, that's what I was talking about early on when I said, being the tip of the spear. When something goes on like that, you're sitting out there and everyone, yes, you definitely do the most damage with truth, but everyone is trying to chip you away. Everyone, because they feel it can.
Dave is the strategic guy to go after is because he is on the edge of mainstream media. Me and you we're out there where nobody's going to give us anything. Like you said the other day, there's nothing to take from us because they'll never let us have anything. I'm the, they call me like fringe or whatever.
Talking about Taylor Lorenz comes over my house and she braids my hair and stuff. She loves me.
But the reason why he's the target is because he's the one who mainstream press might be listening to if they decide to pick up the story. They have to silence him because he's the one who's closest to getting it to go super, super viral, right? And like, not me. He knows that if I contact, USA Today or whatever, they're going to ignore me because I just write for some fringe conservative outlet. They're not going to listen to me. But Dave, on the other hand, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that cloud over his head. Dave's a progressive guy. He's a Taylor Swift fan, which I will never understand. And, I still bust him on that all the time. But he's a Taylor Swift fan. So, he's in the in crowd. And those shorts,
is that what I got to do to be in the in crowd? I have to listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you got to be a Taylor Swift fan. You got to be a Swiftie. And if you don't like Taylor Swift, you are clearly a conspiracy theorist. But Dave, that's why they have to silence Dave. And I noticed that she's not going after Reality Steve either. So I feel like Dave, they've decided to do this thing where they pick a target and they personalize it and polarize it. This is a very, known thing to do. And they've picked Dave Neal. And I'm sorry, but I'm not letting it go. All right, I guess we should start this. I'm sorry.
I can't wait till like
I'm
Dave
angry.
I can't wait till Dave gets to the point where he's just like, it's a switch that flips on you, and you're just like, fuck it. I can't wait till he's like, bring me the short shorts, and he starts dominating.
Well, I actually, it's funny you should say the flip of the switch, because I have merch that says bitch switch, flip it and find out, because I have one. And up until now, I've been having fun with this guy. I've been playing with him like a cat and a mouse, like I'm just batting him around the box. I have not gotten pissed off yet, but I am very close.
I was thinking toilet and a plunger, but okay,
toilet and a plunger.
Yeah.
But I am very close to that bitch switch being flipped. I haven't had to bring out that merch in a while, but you flip it and find out, fucker. Like, you find out, because I'm going to get, if I get mad, you ain't never met a bitch like me. Never. You think you're the Conor McGregor of litigators. Well, dude, you've never met me. You've never met me. And it's incredible to me that these people continue to do this shit. By the way, I spent some time looking up some defamation suits about calling people liars. It doesn't even register. Nobody files a defamation suit because someone called them a liar when you can prove they demonstrably lied about a bunch of shit. You sue because someone lied about something criminal, like having a drug addiction, or being into children, or something damaging like that. But to just call someone a liar, talk to any defamation attorney. They're going to be like, especially a limited purpose public figure like Laura Owens is. She is a limited purpose public figure, and she better fucking remember it. You better remember that, douche canoe, because you have a much higher burden to prove defamation, a much higher burden, and you have to prove malicious intent, and you can't prove that. You're out of your damn mind, and you know it. Anyway, sorry. I gotta stop. I'm gonna rant all night. God.
He doesn't talk about people like myself, because we live in a stronghold for free speech. Tennessee does not. You sue me over a penny. Fuck that. Yeah, that gets slapped down. Let's listen to this here. Let's go with it. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a little bit of an update, a very, very free-flowing conversation with regards to what's going on in the Clayton Echard v. Jane Doe paternity scandal. It's getting complicated, if it wasn't already so. And so this is like a graduate level conversation happening. I'm not here to break down the, how this all began type of thing at this point. I just assume you guys are in the thick of it with me. Well, there's information that has come out, and trust me when I say it's come out from all angles. And I don't know where this HCG test came from. It might be in the discovery. I'm really not too sure. It might be in one of the motions. But Legal Vices, our good friend residing in South Korea, has been doing some say, Lord's work here in discussing the HCG levels that were obtained, I guess, in mid-October. Now,
you know what I really like about that picture? Like, look, you got him, but I'll look right under him. Yep, perfect.
Is it the doggies?
It is.
I love the doggies. My cousin is so funny. She was in the chat and she goes, "What kind of dogs are those?" And someone in the chat told her they were Korean bulldogs, and she believed them.
Korean bulldogs. He crossbred them himself in Korea. He made his own breed.
His own Korean line of bulldogs.
He took a bulldog and bred it with a giant rat, a Korean rat or something.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, here we go.
Now, because we've had people wonder, how could Jane Doe test positive for pregnancy if they believe she wasn't? And then people have sent me things like this, which is kind of like HCG water drops positive test. You can get this, you can buy this stuff online to test positive for pregnancy, which people in the comment section say does work. They show their videos of them testing positive based on using this. But again, if there's a blood test taken that shows HCG levels, this doesn't, apply. This could apply for initial testing, but I think we can all assume and operate under the understanding that HCG is in the blood of one Jane Doe. And how
Yep,
it got
like a
there, I
mutant
guess, is
power.
the sort of
like a mutant. I like that.
She's an X-Man. She's an
Yeah.
X-Man, and her mutant power, she's like a failed X-Men, and she hangs around like it's a power you can't really use. And she pees positive every time on an HCG test for whatever reason.
She's like, other people have shitty powers too. I mean, look at that guy. He has luck. He's like probability manipulation. You test positive for pregnancy. She's like, for twins though. For twins.
Oh God.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like having a mutant power that every time you buy a scratch off lotto ticket, you win a free ticket. It's like but that's it. That's as far as it goes,
You find every time you go out, you find 5 pennies on a sidewalk. You're like, what kind of fucking power is this? How many times I got to go out?
Exactly. It's that kind of useless power that she has. I don't know.
Dude sounds like a lady, man. He'd be like, what? No.
Legal Vices. I love this chat. Hey, Dave, keep my name in your ducking mouth. He got it right this time. He only gets it wrong a few minutes later. Don't worry. He only calls you Law Vices once in this whole stream. Love. It's like kind of like saying the Umbrella Man. He doesn't mean to.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Center question within this case. Now, as teased here, I received an email from Jane Doe's lawyer. In the email, he asked me, for now, not to read the sort of contents of his email, I guess, because he says it'll feed the trolls. I'm all about being
Are we
open
the
and honest.
trolls? Are we the trolls? Is that us? I would just like to point out to Dave that the reason he doesn't want you to release this email is because he doesn't want to hear me and Tug make fun of him. Okay, that's literally the only reason, because I've read the email and it is so ridiculous. We will destroy him with this email. Like, that's why he doesn't want you to release it, Dave. It's not because of anything. It's because of us, and we are going to make fun of him. So I say release it.
I say Dave's probably doing the smart thing though and talking to a lawyer or something beforehand.
Oh,
just to
yeah.
make sure it covers his ass. I get it. I'm not smart like that. I'm totally not that smart. I'll ask my lawyer, David Gingras. Hey, buddy.
Yep.
And transparent, but for now, I don't see a benefit for me to share his email, namely because it appears like he wants to play nice, and I want to play nice. And so why piss that off?
Dave.
Now, if there's any other reason why I need to share the email, or, I have and sent it to journalist friends just to say, is this normal to get an email of this nature from a lawyer who's representing a client in the case that I'm covering?
No, stop.
And again,
no, it's not normal, Dave. It's not normal. This email included multiple paragraphs about about Douche Canoe and his career again, talking about all the famous people he's represented. This guy there's something wrong with him. It also included a photograph of him. He included a photograph of an interview. He's very proud of being in a Netflix documentary that has not been released yet. And he literally included a photograph of himself sitting in front of cameras, looking douchier than ever, to show Dave. I don't know. I think he's trying to date Dave. I think he's trying to impress Dave. Like, look at how famous I am. I'm so famous. There's all these cameras and lights in my face, and I'm so famous. I need you to see me like this because it's sexy. Like,
so it's less headshot and more like, what is that? Fucking glamour shots or whatever.
Yeah, it's a full body shot. It's a full body shot of Douche Canoe lawyer in front of banks of cameras and lights. He's so excited by this that he's going to be in maybe, if it ever gets to Netflix, some Netflix documentary that's somebody. Oh, and he's very thrilled that he was followed around by a camera crew for a while. He thinks he's hot shit, this guy. And he thinks Dave Neal wants to hear this because why? Like, what?
My pickle avatar using ass has been in multiple documentaries. I have turned down every fucking outlet that you can dream of because I don't deal with the press, and it means shit. It means absolute shit. So if that's your claim to fame, I'm sure you want to slather that on your body like butter, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean.
Oh wait, here it is. I found the line about me. And I'm sure Dave will forgive me. This also helps me put some perspective on how unbelievably little I care what some no-name MAGA cult wannabe YouTuber calls me a douche canoe. I already forgot about her before I finished writing the last line. You liar.
Wannabe. You're a wannabe YouTuber. What makes you a YouTuber then? I'm curious.
Yeah, how am I a wannabe YouTuber? I am a YouTuber. I'm a literal YouTuber.
Does
he have a YouTube channel, by the way?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Doesn't he have one?
Wait a minute. He's got a YouTube channel. Let's go look at his YouTube channel because yeah, he has one. And I think he has like 100 subscribers.
100. Let's see it. Look.
Like I'm looking because in my history I watched that Dr. Phil thing on his channel. All right, I'll find it. We can keep playing this while I look for it.
Okay. You tell me when you find that there.
Oh, I found it.
Goal
I found it.
Damn you, Megan. You're like, push that button. Fucking.
He has 158 subscribers. He's got videos on here too of like, I don't know, his vacations in the desert in Arizona and shit.
So here's a question. Since you're a wannabe YouTuber, how many how many subscribers do you have?
Right now I have 42.9 thousand subscribers and I'm happy for every single one of them. I have been a struggling YouTuber for 10 years now. 10 years just plugging away. And suddenly it's just been great. You guys are enjoying the content and it's been rising and rising. And I think 42.9 thousand is not really a wannabe YouTuber because very few YouTubers hit this level. They really do. Like, that means you have. Again, as the mathlete I am, I'm not going to give you an exact number. I'm just thinking of this in my head. That would mean you're around 271 times the subscribers. It's approximately. I'm very
well, I
proud
think there's
of
there's like a 0.5 something in there, and I can't remember it.
I'm very proud of the subscriber count I have. I'm very happy with it too. In fact, I was very happy with it when it was 20,000, because I'm just so thrilled to have my community, which has grown and has become just great. It's fun. It's really fun. And my goodness, I don't think you can call me a wannabe YouTuber at this point. I think we could call him one though, because he has 148 subscribers. No shade to any of you out there with less than 100 followers on YouTube. I'm sure you're doing better content than whatever this dickweed is doing.
Exactly. There's no shade to anyone that's a lawyer and likes to pose on a bearskin rug and send it to comedians that wear short shorts. I mean, if that's your thing, no shade at all. We're just talking about a specific person.
Oh my God.
It's like, I'm totally getting ready for my Netflix interview. That is not a glamour shot. Okay. I got you.
He might have paid people to do that. Like, how do we know that that's a Netflix crew? How do we know? He could have just set that up. Like the Netflix documentary he talks about, I've never heard of it. It doesn't exist. It's not on Netflix right now. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even exist.
He needs to get on my level. Like, when I'm not going to name the outlet, but big outlet, let's just say, hit me up and they were like, "You want to do an interview?" And I was like, sure, but I have a few things. I'm faceless. They said, fair enough. I was like, I use a specific avatar. They were like, okay. I said, it's a giant talking pickle. And they were like, no, we're not going to do that. I was just going to throw absurdities out there until they were like, no.
I love you. Oh my God.
I didn't even get to like, and my kids, they're represented. They're little pickles in there. And, you know, I never got to all that yet. But
By the way, guys, we had Tramp Stamp Lawyer trending for 2 days on Twitter. Let's get it back up and going. Keep tweeting Tramp Stamp Lawyer. This guy is the human embodiment of a tramp stamp. He deserves this title.
Exactly. And when I think about it, I think just inches above the butt crack.
Again, and for those of you asking, no, I can't show you the photo right now. Dave has asked me not to. I'm not gonna go against what Dave wants. This is, Dave has gone through enough. I'm not gonna, make him have more anxiety. But one day soon, I'm sure that I'll be able to show you this douchebaggy photo. And in fact, but because we're talking about it, he may even just publish it on his blog because he thinks it's a good photo. He probably loves this photo. He might even just publish it himself.
Yeah, until it pops up, I'm gonna, I'm not saying it's a photo of him shirtless, rubbing pancake syrup all over him and singing "Oh Canada," but it could be. It could be.
I'm picturing George Costanza on the red velvet chaise lounge right now. Oh God.
Oh Lord. Somebody's Aunt Jemima. No, Aunt Jemima's like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
I ain't doing that. She's like, I quit. That's actually what happened.
That's why she quit.
Yeah, that's a little known story. Yeah, that's actually why she retired. She was like, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that at all. You can get some other stand in for this.
She's like, how dare you let that tramp stamp lawyer use my product to rub all over his gross nipples.
He's got like a picture like licking some freaking syrup out. He's like, no.
Oh my God, the chat wants someone to make an AI of that. Well, I think I can accommodate you. You know what, I'm gonna go to Bing while we're listening to this and I'm gonna make an image. I'm gonna make a fake image of
somebody said call Mrs. Butterworth. She's on set. Yeah, that's good stuff.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Professional.
Yes, I'm a professional. See, it's a good mantra. If you need to remind
it's
yourself,
really good.
It is. That's my go-to mantra. Although I'm afraid I'll do that in my my day job one day. Yes, tell me about your problems. Well, professional. No, that's not. All right, here we go.
Whole entire case has been to provide all the evidence and transparency to everybody. I believe he believes through the email I received that I'm not giving Jane Doe that fair sort of coverage. I know Jane Doe has felt as if I haven't given her fair coverage. The one thing I'm still confused about is what the motive is of her lawyer to help her because or to email me. And I will summarize some parts of the email I received. I actually initially made 4 screen grabs and shared them with you, or I at least posted them to share them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on my home screen and not share any of it right now because I think it's fine if I just...
I like that right now. Yeah, I like that, Dave. That's
I like that, Dave. Keep it in mind. I mean, eventually, Dave's a journalist. He knows, but I think he just feels it's a little volatile right now, and I respect that. I respect Dave. We're not gonna, go beyond what Dave wants to do. And Dave, I got your back, man. Whatever you want to do, but I think eventually you're all gonna see it, word for bloody word.
I've got the perfect avatar for this, but I've got to find it. Oh no. I know now after all that discussion, I know the right one. I'm going to let it play. I'm going to find this. I've got the perfect one. Okay. I'm going to let it play. Here we go.
Just summarize it for you. how that all went down. So I'm going to get to that. If you could stick around for that, I want to lead up to that moment where I get an email from him. I think the email came maybe Friday. I don't really remember. And he was just like, why haven't you gotten on the phone with me? Why don't we just talk on the phone? And of course I made the joke saying it's going to cost you $800 an hour. Of course I was kidding, by the way. I hope that,
no,
that
don't charge him.
It's not
charge
about
him
the
now.
money. He's new to the party. We already know all the information from Jane Doe. At this point, she's no longer pregnant, according to her. I, through my own opinion, of course, which I'm entitled to, don't believe she ever was pregnant. I do believe that she lied. What I guess her lawyer.
So check it out, Megan. This is the picture that I'm going to start sending to people with my ranting screes about how they should drop a subject. Look at that, buttery, syrupy,
very syrupy,
so good,
syrupy.
Okay. Very syrupy. Now all I need is a bearskin rug, and I'm good to go. I'm golden. And 5 people I pay to call them a Netflix freaking documentary crew. Awesome.
Doesn't want me to do is say she lied, because I cannot, I guess, definitively prove that she lied, and that would be considered defamation. Again, that's according to them. I'm operating under the falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. Did I pronounce that right? I'm not a lawyer, but I'm operating under the pretense that she has
great,
admitted
Dave,
through her own deposition to have fabricated some evidence. She claims she did it because she didn't want Clayton to find her, this and that. But we have this whole paper trail of evidence that kind of came out of thin air and then doesn't really exist. My cross-examining of his motion revealed that he said she never actually received medical treatment. She only said she sought it. And my response to that was, well, here she is in the deposition. If anything, I feel like I've at least helped her lawyer, not through my own sort of intention, but I think we've helped her lawyer iron out his case, because we've poked holes in it, saying, no, you can't make that claim because she already said this. No, you can't make that claim because she already did this. And for that, he says that he wants, truth, and he's willing to drop her as a client if he finds out she's lying. I think we're just looking at it from different aspects, where we're seeing
boy, he's assuming a lot of good faith there. A lot of good faith.
Yeah.
I mean, when people are like, hey, okay, proof she's lying here. Here's 1, 2, 3. I feel like the Sesame Street count, 5 cases of lies. It's like, shit, how many do you need? He's like, well, if you can give me 117, maybe.
Yeah, it's
preponderance of evidence.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
That shows Clayton never actually had sex, through early emails where he says, hey, Jane, we only had oral, like this and that. I'm looking at all that, where he had no real reason to lie. And then I'm also looking at all of the times where she claims she was pregnant in the past, now at least 4 times. And some of those ended in coercing her to take Plan B, and some ended in miscarriage and this and that. It all doesn't line up. I think we can all agree. I think her lawyer would agree with that if this was just like 2 guys at a pub talking about it, but he's being paid by her. So what he's going to try to do, and I'm not upset about this. He's being paid, I'm assuming, to make sure the check cashes, to work for her. So if he can find any fault, any cracks in any of the motions, if he can find any case law that says, well, since she no longer is pregnant, that she can dismiss this, if he can find anything he can to help her, that's what he's going to do. But also he says he wants her well-being and Clayton's. I think if we find out that he dismisses himself from this case, we'll then understand he realizes he doesn't have a good case, and that she's lying, and that he doesn't want to be a part of it. He sounds like a winner. He sounds like the type of guy who's like, he wins, he wins for his clients. That's what he said to me in the email. A lot of people will wonder, Dave, do you?
He told me he's the kind of guy who wins.
Well,
sounds like he told you a lot about himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird, right? Like, okay, I guess he's a guy who wins. Well, what did we find out in the last couple of days about this guy. For one, he said he does 69 plus 10 federal cases. Well, about 45 of those,
42. He said 42.
42 of those were all for one client.
What is that?
That was
50?
thedirty.com.
What is that? 53%.
That's a lot. So we don't really know what his track record is. We know for a fact that the Amber Heard thing was literally dropped because Johnny Depp's lawyer, negotiated a deal through the divorce settlement. That's not a win. It just went away. I don't know. We would have to look closer into his record to see how many times he literally kicked the shit out of somebody in court, or did it just get dismissed for whatever reason? I don't know, but I think it's very generous of Dave to assume that this man is telling the truth when he says that he's a winner. He's just a big winner. That's all he does is win.
He assumes the best with people. That's nice,
does.
actually. It's refreshing. In my coal-shaped heart, that is a very refreshing thing to see, because I assume every lawyer, unless I've talked to them, there are a few exceptions I've found, but I assume off bat that they're all scumbags, and then when they prove me wrong, I'm happy about it.
You're gonna have to share my AI creation.
Oh,
It took so long to make this. I almost got banned from Bing AI.
That looks like a teddy bear that's been through the worst.
I don't want to know what he did to that teddy bear. But if you notice the details, there's the scales of justice, and
It's got its
also
mouth open for syrup too.
and also a canoe. I think that Bing AI got mad at me because I said shirtless, and then it said it blocked me from being able to do this particular request because it was too sexy. It's too sexy. So I just had to do it this way. And but yeah, here we go. This is allegedly the picture that may have been in Dave Neal's email.
Let's see. Lawyer with Mrs. Butterworth syrup on a bearskin rug. Bearskin rug. It has to be a glamour shot. More glamour shot.
What would it do if I asked it to do lawyer glamour shot? Oh, that's funny. That's freaking funny.
More glamour shot than publicity shot. If I put in headshot, it might think I'm talking about getting shot or something. Let's see what happens.
Wait, here's another one too. The second one that came up was funny too because it made him wearing a bear head. This is really funny. Hold on, let me open this in a new window, and then let's share this instead. Look at this one. Look at this one. Move us to the left side so they can see the bear ears, because the bear ears are funny.
Okay, give me a second. There we go.
Look at this.
Teddy Ruxpin had a bad day.
What the hell is this?
Oh my God.
What's the thing in the canoe?
These are awesome. Some of
Isn't
these.
this funny? I love the scales of justice just floating on the walls. And the canoe paddle by the fireplace.
I like some of the ones it created because it's like some of these are so like Furry said what, No,
oh my gosh. Furry said what? Yeah, it's him as a bear furry. I love this. Tramp Stamp Lawyer is also a bear furry in his spare time, apparently. Allegedly, folks. Uh-oh. Tug's being sucked down an AI hole. I can tell because he's not responding. I can't even hear him breathing anymore. He may have a child interruption. Why the syrup in a flask? I have no idea. Don't ask me why AI does the things that AI does. I have no idea. But it's weird, right? I like the other one where there's two flasks. So he's got one in like a gravy bowl, and then there's a floating syrup flask above that. This is like very Salvador Dali-esque.
Yeah,
Also, what is
AI
this
AI
thing?
animations are very.
What is this thing by the bear's paw? We got to go down. What is this? Is it is this a cigarette ashtray?
I can't tell.
Oh, is that a roach? There's a roach on the floor. Look,
Oh no!
look, there's
Did
a cockroach.
Did you ask for a roach? Or
No,
it
I
was
did
just
not.
a mind reader. It was like,
But that looks like a roach to
man.
me.
That's what it looks like. Holy crap! All right,
And
here.
look,
Let
what
me.
is this thing over here on the
Whoops.
left side? It looks like an ink bottle.
There we go. I almost unshared it. There we go. I unshared the other one. Good. Okay. All right.
So weird.
Like there, I've got some too. Let me pull them up real quick.
I want to see what yours did.
Mine are more like furry pigs. I have one of them. He's got like a furry head. I was like, wait a minute. What are you trying to say? There's the glamour shot. Look at Miss Butter. Look at her on there. Look, she's like she's.
Why
had a
does she
bad
look like
day.
a zombie?
Look at
What's
her.
wrong with her eye? That's not Mrs. Butterworth.
It's scary. And
Where's
he's like,
that is freaking scary.
he's like, yeah, baby. Let
Oh
me see.
my
Wait. I think I've
God.
got two more. Let me make sure. 1 second. I want to make sure it pulls up the right thing. Oh God, some of these. It made him Asian in one for some reason. You talk about hey, that's racist too. You talk about some kind of weird Butterworth perversion, and they're like Asian. Of
Oh
course.
my God, mine just made it Asian too.
Look, he's making it in tea. Look at this. He's sipping it like
So
tea.
weird. Oh my
I like the bears leaning on his lap. And they're laying on a bearskin rug. What's up?
Oh, that one's perfect, but why is he Asian?
That's what I'm saying. What's up with this one? This is called bearskin syrup.
Oh,
Oh my God. AI is amazing some days. Look, it's turned the scales of justice into a way to sip Butterworth.
he's sipping the syrup out of the scales of justice. I love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
I freaking love it. I don't think AI understands what a glamour shot is. They're giving me like professional headshots, and I'm like, no, AI. A glamour
You can't
shot
use
is a
like
very
words like sexy or anything.
Oh,
You know,
I got it. I got it now. I got the glamour shot. Holy shit. Here we go. Here it
Okay, all right,
is.
let me go back.
This is perfect. I'm sorry, but I don't think it gets better than this. I used a few extra words. Wait, let me get
No, that is sexy.
Look at this. The feather boa. See, you have to have the 80s motif.
He's like Mark Feather, eat your heart out.
Here's another one.
I like that one. That's awesome. He looks like a Puritan lawyer too. That's amazing.
Here, but this one's good too. It looks like he's wearing a wig. It looks like he's wearing like a ridiculous gray wig. Look at this.
Oh my God. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, all right. Let's get back to Dave Neal.
Okay. Yeah, I remember us having a point to this. I just don't
We
remember
did
what it
have a point. Chat, do not get us going on AI because we'll be there all night.
Oh my God. I'm like, man, I blame you for derailing, but I can't stay on subjects anyway. So.
I know.
Take this email as a threatening email. This email that says he has a cease and desist drafted up that could be sent to me, but he decided not to. I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't feel threatened, because even if you say this isn't a threatening email, when someone says they are ready to send you a legal or a letter telling you to stop reporting, I guess, it's interesting. I don't know what his cease and desist would say because he didn't send it to me, but he did say that he has an 8-page cease and desist with my name on it, which would be, I believe, the second or third that would be sent to me from her or her counsel. Or her other one,
He's not new to this.
to whatever. But it seems as though she's she's done playing ball as far as she's done. You know, at first it was like, you know, she paid some guy probably $50 to send me the cease and desist, and now obviously she's got a lawyer who's got way more notoriety. You know, and I think in the email that was sent to me, the lawyer presented, hey, I've represented these celebrity clients. I've done this. I've won for my clients. I've had people that I fought against lose their bar license. I think we saw on Reddit that he already filed some sort of bar complaint against Woodnick Law. I don't even know how that works. I don't know if that's public information that you can find or if that was just rumors through the chat boards. I'm really not sure. But he said he's got a goal, and he says, you and I may not agree on many things, but I'm sure you would agree that Jane Doe needs help. And the same can be said about Clayton. Now, of course, they need help. They both need representation here. I would argue my opinion, and this is, I guess, where it gets kind of lost, where he, as a lawyer, argues for people's right to say things. That's kind of like his big thing, is like he's a First Amendment rights lawyer. And I guess he would argue that that everything I'm saying doesn't protect me in the First Amendment. I don't know. That would be for the court system to deal with. But I believe I've spoken nothing but the truth. Yep. And my opinion doesn't come out of thin air.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you are allowed to draw inference. You know, guy with baggie walks into bathroom and comes out with the sniffles. I can infer that limited public figure I'm going to talk about there is he's probably just visited mini Columbia. Yeah.
You're also allowed to look at the evidence that is available through public documents and make your opinion that someone is lying when they've demonstrably lied. We also have, don't forget how many eyewitnesses we have. Dave has spoken to Greg Gillespie personally, and he may have spoken to Mike Maricini too. Do you think those guys will go on the record, and they have, to say that she lied? They have. There is nothing that this guy can sue us for. Zero, nothing. And he knows it, which is why he's sending 2,000-word emails instead of just filing a lawsuit. If you're serious about a lawsuit, you just file it. You don't alert someone with 2,200 words about why I want you to tone your speech down. He literally sent him an email telling him that he needs to watch what he says. Oh, the free speech lawyer who defended Nick fucking Ritchie is telling Dave Neal to watch what he says? Is that a joke? You know what, Tug? You know what's happening here is that Mr. Free Speech Lawyer is never, ever going to be able to get another job defending anyone's right to free speech after this. I don't know how anyone would hire him for what he says he does after going after Dave Neal for just saying somebody appears to be lying here and it looks like it's her because here's all the evidence that she lied.
She lied?
I'm sitting here thinking about some of the lawyers, again, that associate with this person, at least on Twitter. I'm sure that there are associations beyond. All of these people with their reputations about free speech. And yeah. But then again, half of them are MAGA too, like the thing that he whines about, Right. So how does that work in his mind? Is it just when you want to other somebody and ruin them, that's when you call people that,
Right. He's perfectly happy to defend scumbags all day long, which we can see as he's with his current client also. But it's incredible to me that he'll defend Nick Ritchie's ability to have people post demonstrably defamatory things and
revenge prawn, man. Revenge prawn. That's what it is.
Yeah, defamatory things like saying that people are drunks and they're not drunk, saying they're drug addicts, they're not drug addicts. But he's going to defend that, but not calling this woman who has demonstrably lied a liar. Come on.
He's like, you use one little turkey baster in the world, allegedly. That's not allegedly, actually.
Allegedly.
Oh my God. This case is so absurd.
All right. I have 15 minutes left.
Okay.
15 minutes and I got to go.
All right.
Go.
He's new to this case. My opinion comes from following this case since I don't know, August or whenever, September, whenever the hell, September, whenever it broke, right? So my opinion is based on information I've seen. And that's kind of where I live. He says his goal is basic. Jane Doe wants me to leave her alone. He says if I were in her shoes, I'd feel the same way. Most people would. I understand that. I understand that Jane Doe wants me to leave her alone. I would argue I've given her the most amount of grace I could in a process where I'm trying to seek and expose justice for Clayton Echard, right? In exposing justice for him, I've given her.
It also, she went to the press with all this stuff, so it gets coverage. It starts.
She asked for it. She literally said, "Hey, press, give me an anal probe. I want an anal probe. Please probe me up the tuchus." That's what she did. You don't get to go to the press and say, "Here's all my alleged evidence," and don't actually question it, though. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. She sought press coverage. Now she's got it, and she doesn't like it. Too bad.
For the benefit of not saying her name. And he says, well, you're allowed to say her name. I don't care about the legal aspect of that. I've wanted to keep my hands clean of her feeling any collateral damage of the internet coming after her. I think because her lawyer's new to this case, and by the way, none of which anything I'm saying right now is me trying to treat him like an idiot, right? I just think he's new to the case and there's a lot going on here. So he might think that the Justice for Clayton Twitter, the Justice for Clayton Reddit, me, Megan Fox, he might think we're all in on this thing where we're all working together. And that's kind of true, but kind of not. We all come from different aspects of life and have found this case. And some people call it the Roman Empire. Some people are really justice oriented, right? But as he says, having spent 10 business days on this case, which is nothing.
10 days.
That's a lot of time, you know.
Whoa,
David.
10 days. It's going to take him at least 30 days to get anywhere near the information that we're working with.
I think he's gotten plenty of it. I mean, if he were really true to form and wanted to know the truth about this situation, he has it.
He claims that he would drop out if he knew that she lied. Well, sir, she admitted under oath in a deposition that she photoshopped a sonogram. You should drop out now. She photoshopped a sonogram. That's a lie, sir. So there it is. You dropping out yet?
He's like, I don't actually hear you saying anything because you're not here. Wannabe YouTuber.
Oh God! She
Anyway,
also
I don't want to read what he
took a picture of, the remains of her miscarriage. Where's the picture, sir? Where's the picture?
It's just, it's so horrible. It's such a horrible fucking story in so many ways. It's a clown show. But it's punctuated by awful, fucking awful. Anyway.
Said just yet or at all. I don't know if it helps the case, and I'd rather not piss him off, because even if I feel I am in the right to say what I've been saying, you still don't want to piss someone off who can do and pull a lot of moves that could just make things sort of murky for you. I think what he has learned is that I won't be smeared, and that the audience fully has empathized with me in this situation. I think he understands that. The world's in a weird place right now where I'm not the one who hooked up with Jane Doe, right? I'm just the one who's covered this, and I've tried to do it fairly. And he could argue what, but you're not, and this and that. Well, I think I've done a really good job in the coverage, and as the kind of first person to really cover this, I think I'm getting the absolute brunt of the arrows kind of shot at anyone trying to seek truth.
Yep.
I don't think a judge or anyone in media would think it a good thing for a lawyer trying to silence a journalist who's trying to seek the truth. I'm not claiming that her lawyer's trying to silence me. He says here in this email, keep talking about it. Just be careful. He wants me to cover it fairly. I don't necessarily know what that means, in part because I'm under.
He means he wants to put his words in your mouth, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and by words, I'm not using a euphemism when I say words. I don't mean something else. I'm just saying he's wanting to put his speech patterns in your mouth.
Yeah, and he's trying to shut him down because Dave is doing damage to his client because his client can't tell the truth from a lie. So, and that's very, very clear. And I will, and no one here believes that we are saying things that are untrue. Dave does not believe he's saying anything that's untrue. Neither do I. I have a good faith basis for saying
She lied.
because she did, and I can prove it. And that's going to be my next video coming on YouTube soon. All the ways that I can actually show you that Laura Owens has lied. And don't let him put his words in your mouth, Dave. You're doing the job. And by the way, he made some reference in this email to, oh, the people who are telling they didn't make a good faith effort or something. I'm not, this is not a direct quote, but something about didn't make a good faith effort to report her side of the story. Bullshit. Bullshit. For one, the Sun ran with her side of the story. And so did People or whoever the other, and her side of the story has been on Medium, and we've gone over all of it. There is a very good reason why people like me or Dave or anyone would not reach out to Laura herself, even though Dave did, and so did Steve. They were both like, you come on my show anytime and I'll interview you and we'll talk about it. The reason why people don't, that we do not need to reach out to her is because one, she's put all of her so-called evidence out there on Dropbox and in the press already. And two, because she's batshit insane and will stalk you for the rest of your damn life. Look what happened to Dave. When Dave was like, okay, you come on my show, go ahead, send me the stuff. Next thing you know, she's filing a harassment action against him. Nobody wants to get involved with that. This person is litigious. She's vexatious. No, nobody wants to. I asked her to contact me. I offered it to her as well. I said, you can contact me. Here's my email address. You know where I am. Did I ever hear from her? No, but I am not going to reach out to her because she will say it's harassment. Do you understand how this works?
Yeah, I mean, she made it very clear in her videos that she put out that she was calling anyone that commented on anything. That's why I don't directly comment to a person. Like, I don't comment on their social media. I don't reach out to them. None of that, because they made it clear. They only want certain outlets telling their story. And their story, that doesn't make it true. It's just their tale, their story. And no, I mean, there are court documents, what makes it clearer than, like, Dave Neal's gone over any filing that's come up that he can get his hand on,
including her filings, including hers.
Yes.
So claiming that he is not telling both sides of this story is absolutely false. No one would expect him to talk to the woman who accused him of harassment. Like, that's ridiculous. But he has covered plaintiff's filings. Well, yeah, no, right? Not after she filed that. No, he can't reach out to her because no, that would be playing right into her hands.
Didn't they make an agreement not to communicate with each other or whatever?
I didn't read the agreement, so I don't know exactly what it constituted, but I think they both agreed to stay away from each other. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
So I would think that would cover, him reaching out for a, story or anything. He just stays far, far away because that's the smart move.
Oh yeah, I will put a link to Dave's video in the chat, you guys. Sorry about that.
Go to his channel, Dave Neal. It's his freaking new stuff. You can find it easily. I want you to go find his channel because you can hit the subscribe button when you look his name up. It's very easy. And yes, do him a favor. Not only watch this, watch other videos. Subscribe to the man's channel. This story.
Subscribe to his Patreon. If you really want to support Dave Neal, the best way to do it is not to interact with this, douche canoe on Twitter, but it's to go to his Patreon and subscribe there.
Well, this story, as far as hits wise, anybody claiming that, he's doing this for to become bigger. I mean, look at it. Look at the amount of hits it really, like this, 10,000 hits, which is okay, but it's not, it's not something that. It's not a Debbie Heard. It's not like covering Meghan Markle. I mean, you could jump into a million different things, and make a I mean, hell, he could put Hollywood in the title. Hollywood says, and get more hits than this kind of stuff. But he's doing it because he finds it worthwhile. He thinks it needs to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
The belief that these blood samples that show little to no fetal DNA are the definitive proof that she isn't nor ever was pregnant. That's my belief. That's my interpretation of science, right? Of medical science. That's my interpretation of it. So I'm sharing that from that belief. I haven't seen him yet address the little to no fetal DNA from the first, the second, the third, the fourth. One of them got lost in the mail. 3 out of 4 tests. 3 out of 3 that were received and analyzed by a professional company have showed that they could not find the DNA. So what we have here, which I'm going to share with you guys, is some results from the HCG test. I want to share this with you just real quickly. Law of Vices covered this. The results of the
Legal
test
Vices.
were from
Law of
October
Vices.
16th.
He keeps doing that. It's like
Law
a
of Ice
tick he
Grips.
has. Law Vices, that the Umbrella Man.
I'm going to say Law of Ice Grips. Yeah. That's it.
Law of
You know that channel, Law of Ice Grips. You know, the one with the Korean poodle.
Do you know that Jeff went for 6 hours that night? 6 hours. It was insane. And I listened to the entire thing. It was great.
He was on that day, you know.
Oh,
I listened.
so
I listened before it got on, listened a little bit after, you know, picked up some more of it. So I listened to it all in pieces, but I didn't realize it was 6 freaking hours. I thought, man, I've been listening to him for a while though. Oh.
She had a 102 level, which you might say, what the hell does that mean?
All right. It's a falsified report. See the handwritten letters. I don't see any handwritten letters on the paper.
So I'm just going to talk my way through this because this is a 6.5 hour live stream by Legal Vices. His channel is blown up, not just for covering this case, but covering others. And these papers that show 102, I guess anything over a 4 MIU per milliliters would be considered above the standard. Again, I am not a doctor, so what I'm telling you is my interpretation of these results. So she received a 102, which you go, oh my gosh, that's so much higher than a normal HCG level. Well, here what we find out is that the placenta starts releasing HCG 6 to 12 days after ovulation. The levels usually double every 29 to 53 hours, says an OBGYN at Texas Children's Pavilion for Women. So we would need an expert to analyze all of this, but the trend of HCG at 8 to 10 weeks peaks at around this doubling trend continues until 8 to 10 weeks after implantation, when HCG levels peak at around 90,000 to 100,000 MIU. Then HCG starts plateauing because the placenta takes over estrogen and progesterone production. Healthy HCG levels don't always double every 2 days. So the levels could be all over the place, but a 104 level would be enough to trip a pregnancy test. It seems to me as though pregnancy tests are mainly very polar. Either you're pregnant or you're not. Either you have HCG above the normal level or you don't. And those pregnancy tests that test with HCG are just an initial indicator. We would have.
Dave's in the chat. He says, sorry, Litigation Vices. I just realized I completely messed up your name. We should call him Litigation Vices from now on. He is, he's the Conor McGregor of litigation. He's Litigation Vices. It's perfect. Dave.
Dave, I'm telling you, Dave, if these people come for you, you got a lot of support, man. You do. I know it's stressful stuff. You know, many of us have been in the eye of the hurricane. It's not fun. I get it, man. I really do. People don't know what it's like. You know, they catch camera to camera, but they don't catch those small moments. So I get it, man. But if they do come for you, like I said, you got a lot of people out there to support you, man.
Dave, make sure that you go back if you've missed some of the stream and get to the AI photographs of our renditions of what was in the email that was sent to you.
Yes, we are. I mean, it's just open for interpretation. I mean, like I was saying,
right? Since we can't show the picture, we just have to imagine what it looks like.
You're not a doctor, and I am not a glamour shot professional. So I just had to, I had to artificially engineer what I imagined to be there. Yes.
Douche canoe lawyer doing glamour shots on a bearskin rug. If you can imagine that, you can with some. There was
I
maple
don't know.
syrup involved.
I don't know how I got the syrup, but okay. Yeah. I don't know why the syrup came in. I don't even know.
You know, it's divine intervention, really, Tug. It's God Himself giving you
He
insight into
spoke.
this man.
I listened to all those. That's what it is. I listened to all those books about the Borgia Pope, and now God spoke to me.
All right. I hate to say it, but I have to go now. I have to take my sister-in-law to the train station. So I'm going to be listening while I drive. I'm going to be listening to all of you. Have a ton of fun. And tomorrow night, are we going to be on my channel, Tug?
That is the way I understood things.
That is the way we understood. Okay, tomorrow night, Tug and I will be back. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but whatever it is,
Every
you're
day
going to
something new
love it.
pops off. Yes.
And we're going to be wearing hot pants and searching for cash under the refrigerator because, you know, that's
what we are. We're a couple of cockroaches searching for cash wherever we can find it. Send those super chats, by the way. I haven't seen enough super chats coming into this. And if you want us cockroaches to continue this type of coverage, you have to send the cockroach cash for breadstick money. Damn it.
Exactly. A cockroach can live without its head, but it can't live without breadsticks. That's a scientific proven fact.
All right. I got to go. Have fun.
Yep. Here we go.
Have to see, and this is where an argument might come up. We would have to see whether or not she ever tested positive for pregnancy through the actual means of a test, which would be an ultrasound, seeing the baby. That's like literally the only way to fully know if you're pregnant, because all these other tests are just indicators of a pregnancy. So it seems as though he's going to argue that because she believed she was pregnant, that she can say she was pregnant.
Yeah, that's going to absolutely be the argument. That's absolutely going to be. He's going to say, oh, well, you know, it was actually a good faith effort. She wasn't doing blah, 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 which it's going to be interesting to see how fake sonograms and whatnot, how they actually work into that mix. You know, because again, if it's a good faith effort where she knows that she is, yeah, how do you explain away certain items? Again, she's not willing to concede mental illness or anything like that. So,
I'm arguing right now that I believe she wasn't pregnant, my opinion, because of the little to no fetal DNA of what I believe to be her lying in the deposition. And I say her lying because she admitted to that. So I don't think that's a question. She admitted to you know, fabricating information within these ultrasounds, right? And then also I look at this and go, HCG levels should be at 90,000 or 100,000. We're not even close. We're not even playing ball when we're talking 102. We're not even in the same ballpark. So again, any sort of medical professional who looks at this, they'll have more to say about it, but they might see that she tested this way when in October, June, July, 4 months pregnant, she shouldn't have been there at all. And her argument might be, well, at that point I had already miscarried. I don't know what the argument would be. There's always an argument. There's always this out because she's kind of like rewriting the story. So that's what's important to know, is that what she said happened in January is different from what she said happened in November, different from September. And
yeah, I mean, that runs you into a problem too. You know, one of the things that will make you, what's that word again we were looking for? Oh yeah, liar. That, yeah, rewriting your story over and over again, that might do it for you. Then again, I don't know. I'm not a free speech lawyer that's threatening to cease and desist anybody. So how the fuck does that work though? I have trouble moving past that point. I mean, how exactly do you call yourself a free speech lawyer and take away somebody's speech? Oh.
And it's hard to pin her down in a way because she keeps on rewriting the story.
The note on that too, I want to say that with this. We're talking about a guy that you post an article talking about a situation like he was saying with Doug Stanhope, what he had to put out there. Okay. So you defended that. You defend somebody's Twitter post. But the guy reading court documents, and actually formulating opinions. The guy who has gone through and looked at all of the evidence here. You want to shut him down again? That would go really fucking sideways, you would think. But what do I know, right?
It's my belief that by rewriting the story, by sharing new information that doesn't necessarily, that doesn't catch her in a trap or whatever, as she kind of sort of dodges this thing, that it's a way of like trying to get out of it. That's my opinion and my belief. And as a journalist and as a commentator, I'm allowed to have those opinions.
Yes.
Imagine being sued because I don't believe her. I guess their argument would be that me saying she lied as a statement of fact would be defamation. I think it would be very hard, and I know him and I might disagree with this, but I think it would be very hard for a jury or even a judge to look at all of this information and side against a journalist who's seeking the truth. I think that would be very hard.
You are allowed to have your own opinion. Here's this. You remember that weird thing? It was called court TV. Remember that person called Nancy Grace? Remember all the opinions that she had on calling people scumbags? I mean, yeah, that show existed because she was allowed to do that. But hey, again, what do we know? We're not all powerful, all sexy lawyers, right? God, if you ever release that freaking email, man, I really want to know. I get, again, when I talk about that, I get why Dave doesn't want the waves. I get it, man. I get it. You don't want the problems in your life. I mean, I totally get it. But it sucks. It sucks that people are trying to bully you yet again into silence, man.
Hard. That's my opinion. But again, even if his email says, Dave, I'm not threatening you, you'll know when I'm threatening you. Even with all that said,
wait, you'll know when I'm threatening you. That is a threat. I'm not threatening you. You'll know when I'm threatening you. I'm not hitting you. I'm not punching you. I was hitting you. Yeah, I've heard that before. That is absolutely a threat.
It reads as threatening because I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just trying to cover this case. I'm not slandering her. I'm not knocking her. I'm not even sharing any information about this attorney or his past or any of these other things. I do appreciate that this attorney of hers, I do appreciate that it looks like his attempt was to play nice with me. He called, I guess, me and Megan Fox pond scum. Maybe he was talking specifically about Megan. I think Megan's been great in this case.
He was talking specifically about that evil Megan cockroach catch. I mean, and again, he ends up removing these comments because he thinks they're not very above board. They probably aren't your best foot forward. Oh my God. I want to know if the headshot is actually like his appearance from Geraldo. I want to know if that's what he shared with you.
I think she's done a really great job of exposing.
I said Geraldo. I mean, Dr. Phil, and they're all the same show. They all came from the same time period.
The truth, and it's so refreshing to have people get my back here in the world of YouTube and law and journalism, because you got to stick together. Because if someone can just threaten a journalist, and I'm not saying he's doing that, but by sending an email to somebody saying, "Hey, I've sued these people,"
he's made it clear that he said that he's telling her to sue. So this wasn't stated in a vacuum. Again, like I said, his posts. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. I know I've got this in my. I set it up, but I didn't pull it up for this. Here it is. I'm commenting because there is a huge amount of misinformation being spread unfairly about Laura. The purveyors of these lies will likely be sued in the future. So he's already said it. He's already fucking said it. He's already said that you can't have opinion. You can't have that speech. Why? Because there's a difference in free speech and speech about his fucking clients. It's a fucking joke, man. It's a joke. And I will I will make that point a million times. You want to amplify that? I mean, is that your career calling card you want? I mean, if it is, because you can get attention for it for sure. I mean, if you want attention for saying that you were the lawyer that came in to try to bail out the flaming wreck that this fucking trial is, or this case has become. Man, he's like, maybe I can get known as a low rent Better Call Saul.
Well, I've beat these people. I'm not the type who loses. He says that, and then he says, I've got a cease and desist I can send to you. Jane Doe can decide after she wins this case who she's going to sue next. That's essentially what he said, is after this case is over, after I take a vacation, we can come back and Jane Doe can say, all right, who do we need to sue next to that has wronged us.
See, he thinks number one, she's going to win somehow. Number two, you're not allowed to have any opinions on something. I mean, this person, again, solicited opinions. They solicited the press on multiple occasions. They put it out there. They wanted people to look at it. But people can't draw their own conclusion. People can't look deeper. It's a bunch of bullshit. He knows that. It's trying to financially bully people into silence. Seen it before. Seen it many times before. It's a fucking clown car with the wheels falling off.
Or that has defamed us or this or that. Well, whether it's a threat email or not, I mean, the message is received. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to continue talking about the case. In fact, he says, continue to talk about the case. Just be careful and don't say she lied. So I always think it's good to listen to advice, even if it's coming from someone that would be considered an adversary. And I appreciate the advice, although I wonder what the intention and motive is. I don't think he cares about my best interest. Of course he's not. We're all out for ourselves, right? So his best interest is winning the case and or, having his next project be.
His best interest is making more money and suing people. That's his best interest, because he's like, let me count that cheddar. He finds a piggy bank. He wants to tap it. He doesn't care. At the end of the day, it just says, again, one of the problems that I have with fucking lawyers is that they can justify anything. And many lawyers do. Oh, everyone needs a defense, man. There are fucking horrible people out there. There are people that do horrible things to other people too. And again, there's always some asshole out there to justify it, right?
Whatever it's going to be. But this isn't my hill to die on as far as what I do with my life. But if I just, like I've said in the past, and again, apologies if this does come off as rambling, but if I did just cower, stop talking about this, decide not to cover this case from the first time she sent me a cease and desist months ago, then look what might have happened to Clayton Echard. I don't think I would have slept well at night.
No.
I sleep better knowing she might want to or sue me for defamation. I sleep better knowing that than if I didn't do the right thing. I still live in a world where I believe doing the right thing will play in my favor. So the HCG test was 102 on.
It's the only way you're going to change any laws. It's the only way that people are going to have voices. Yes. People always try to intimidate you. That's why one and done stories bother me. I do wonder why certain outlets pull their stories. I wonder why, the ones that didn't look Laura positive, let's say. I mean, was it a narrative thing, or were they going further than that? Again, I wonder things like that. And yeah, it's like I said when covering the Depp case, one of the reasons I covered it for so long, I wanted to know, but it bothers me. It bothers me to see the silence on something, it also bothers me to know that if I were in a situation where someone was trying to railroad me and I had no voice whatsoever, I mean, he has a voice, but it has its audience, and you can make this go through. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a voice or he doesn't have an audience, but it could be bigger. It could be amplified. I mean, look at people. A lot of people have no idea that this stuff is going on. In fact, there are a few videos that hit here and there, but I think this should have been much more widely covered.
October 16th, a lab value you'd expect to be much higher if you were in your second trimester. At the same time, an alarming value that I wouldn't wait until mid-November to see the doctor and get checked out. That's right. She saw Dr. Higley the Friday before her November 2nd court date. Again, he probably didn't know this. He probably didn't see this. I'm assuming he was catching up on all of this, but he said she sought medical treatment. She didn't receive it. But here she admits on November 2nd, she received medical treatment from Dr. Higley the Friday before, a perinatologist, whatever the hell this term is for what he does. Why didn't she mention such a low HCG level to him at that visit? So yes, 102 is low if you're in your second trimester, but extremely high if you're not pregnant. Or at least high if you're not pregnant. That test that she had is specifically used for detection of early pregnancy. Intended use immunoassay for the in vitro quantitative determination of the sum of human chorionic, oh my gosh, so many words, is intended for use for early pregnancy test. So again, it's these pregnancy tests aren't meant to catch people. They're meant to say, oh yeah, you're probably pregnant. You have this hormone you don't normally have. In most cases, you don't have this hormone. You've got it. You might be.
It's a screener. That's what it is. It's a screener to say, yeah, you might want to get this looked at. Like that's what it's for. That's why they also give you a plus minus on it. You know, and people would be amazed. Depending on the product. I always note this. It's a different point, but yet it's not really. You think about this. Some products have a very stringent success failure rate. Some don't. In psychology, for example, when you do testing, when you set an alpha level for it, you could set it at 5% failure rate, because in human beings, you allow that. Now, if we're talking about planes falling out of the air, you don't want 5% of your planes falling out of the fucking air. So yeah, different ones. Some of them are just screeners. That's the point, you know. Then you follow that up. You try to identify. And again, there are a lot of other tests. Yeah, I've sat there happily listening to heartbeats, looking at imaging and more. There's a lot of tests come along. They come along very early.
Be pregnant, go see the doctors. That's what the pregnancy test, of course, is made for. In her case, if she knew she would test positive for HCG before even hooking up with Clayton, then she can make these arguments. Now, her argument has changed. She's now accused him of SA.
Yes.
She's accused him of the R word, right? But before that, she said her excuse of getting knocked up was, well, we kind of hooked up and then we grinded, and there might have been something that, I felt something wet, this and that. So it's like, you got to figure out your story, because it's hard to
that is, again, the worst thing you can accuse somebody of these days. Like, you think about it again, and I would say, of course, there's a differential. Kids, obviously, it'd be a worse thing. Women, again, you go into prison hierarchy mode. You can tell exactly how that's perceived, because the worst of the worst see that as a crime that they can lash out against, and nobody's going to look at them as a terrible person for doing that. I mean, that really says something. And she not only didn't note that before, but if you look at her communications, they say quite the opposite there. Quite that. But again, we're just ignoring that stuff. And I mean, he made that bold face claim. So again, they can just shout anything to the fucking wind that they want to and hope that it sticks. But if anybody says, you look at the evidence, these are lies. Sue you if you counter that stuff. sue you if you say, man. I said, listen and believe is bad. It's bad stuff. That's why. That's why I say that, because if a person just throws a claim out, these are life ruination tactics. They're not meant to change the story. They're meant to flip the script, and they're meant to ruin his life. And yeah, when you see that, and you look at everything else that's come along, you're absolutely allowed to call out the bullshit in that.
Defend against your story if you don't even know which story you're going with. I'm very confident in having this conversation as I'm having it. I don't want these types of videos to be a back and forth with Jane's attorney and me. So I just would politely say at this point, I don't think there's anything Jane's attorney needs to send me. If there's any evidence that proves her case, I think that needs to go through the court system. I'm happy to report on it as it's gone through the court system. But the problem we've had with Jane so far, and that's why the trust is completely obliterated between covering Jane's side, is that she's been called out for manipulating evidence in multiple cases with multiple different circumstances. So why should we believe what information she has? I'm not going to hold up on the HCG test. I'm going to hold up on the little to no fetal DNA. So Let the Fresh Aaron, great YouTube title, by the way, Let the Fresh Aaron.
Have you heard of this brand new product that instantly cleans toilets without any scrubbing? Take any dirty toilet,
Did you
pour in
flush
one
that?
scoop.
Aaron posted her update on Clayton's case.
I felt like I was being sent a message there. like I've said before, if an ad pops up too, that's because I respect the person there. And I don't use ad blockers on people that I watch, because I support what they do. You know, that's one of the best ways to support them. Again, make sure that you sub to Dave Neal. You know, if you need some freaking encouragement. You look tired, man. You look tired. And I know it's got to be stressful, dude.
I guess just this morning. So everyone go support that. Have a listen.
Always believe when a woman says something happened to her or makes a claim like this, because I'm like, well, what does she have to gain by making all of this up? It's not going to be a positive experience for her. I mean, there's really no way to go around it. It is not going to be good. So at the beginning, a lot of people believed her. And she's the one that went public with all of this information.
See, that's the problem, though. Like, I vehemently disagree with believing people out the gate just because they say shit when they point at another person. Again, if a person makes a claim where they need support or empathy, it is a big difference. People are manipulating you. What is the goal there? It could be anything. You don't know what kind of deranged fucko that you're dealing with. You have no idea. You don't know what's in a person's head. They may be doing it for sheer spite. There may not be a monetary factor or even a factor that you can comprehend, because everyone sees the world differently. I can tell you from a mental health perspective, there are people out there that they see omens in flies, man. I mean, for real, people, you know, when you deal with especially the mentally ill, and I'm not talking about anyone specific, I'm just saying a fly buzzes a certain way and they think, oh, well, that says something. But there are monetary factors. There are all types of things. There's social cred, TEDx talks. I mean, the list could go on and on. So you have to be careful about that. You know, again, it's manipulation, taking terrible things that people go through. And it's based. Again, it's just, you would see it as a problem if we talk about something like stolen valor. And in these days, unfortunately, some people perceive some of the worst things that people go through in the same way. And it's not. You know, a person that's gone through stuff like this, there's no clout or credit in it. It is horrible, horrible stuff. The people that haven't, again, they see the social movement, they see the attention, they see the names that can attach to it sometimes. And there have been plenty of cases. If you wonder about that, look up look up articles on Google. Just look it up there. You know, turn off the main topics, but turn it on day to day and look up not false accusations, but look up false ARP claims, let's just say. You can really see that. You can see it in court cases, how many of them are out there. And people do it for some of the reasons that come up are just ridiculous. There was a case I was looking at where this woman accused a man because she wanted her husband's affection and attention again. Okay. The man she chose, though, was somebody that she didn't like because that person dated one of her friends. And she had an argument with them once upon a time. And that argument, that disagreement stuck with her enough that she was willing to destroy this person's life. So, I mean, you have to be very careful about that.
But then later, when
I'd say more than a lot of people, just about everyone believed her. Trust then verify. Of course, that's the famous saying, right? Trust then verify.
Like that either.
The verification didn't pan out.
See, the trust, you verify. Again, you can trust if there's not a finger pointed at another person. But when you trust, the accusation alone destroys people. When you trust the accusation, you give it validity. So you just need to verify. And you don't have to be an asshole about it or anything else. We're not talking about, confrontation or anything. We're just talking about verifying something. But I think the trust portion it's dangerous too. And again, I wish there was a perfect world and wish I could believe anyone, because I want people to be able to go out and to get justice. I want that. I think we all do. But at the end of the day, the false accused, the manipulators they're the ones setting the stage for this. They're the ones. If people want to blame somebody for people not trusting, then they need to look at that.
tests showed that there was no fetal DNA.
3 tests.
It was like, okay, so is she lying?
Now, to be fair, the test showed little to no fetal DNA. And I guess that's also the place where we have an issue, because the test it says little to no. It says there's none or very little. And what does that very little mean? And I guess we might need RavGen to further explain what little to no means. Would 3 tests that say little to no, like 0.001% chance times 0.001% chance equals 0.0000001% chance, right? We understand how that all works. My math might not line up, but the idea being how rare it would be to receive a little to no fetal DNA 3 times is exponentially rarer. So it's not little to no fetal DNA. It is extremely little to no fetal DNA. Of course, that being lined up with no actual medical records of an actual ultrasound, that all lines up, and you go, come on, folks. Aren't we allowed the opinion that she lied about being pregnant?
You are.
That's the opinion that many are coming to. And by many, I mean, it's essentially 100% people don't believe her, except her mom and possibly her lawyer, who might still be on the fence.
Of this information. But then later, when
These are words to work by.
Words
Supplies,
to work by.
solutions, support. Call.
Attack.
tests showed that there was no fetal DNA, it was like, okay, so is she lying? And then later we come to find out that they didn't even have intercourse. They only did oral. So it's just the mental gymnastics you have to do to figure out what's going on in this case. And
So she never said, and again, I think this is fair reporting. She never said they didn't have sex. She just said they were sexually intimate. So initially she danced around the words that they didn't have sex. He was the one who privately said, hey, Jane, we only had oral sex. What's interesting is in sharing everything publicly, she very oddly redacted that line. I think that's very interesting to her motivation, is that she didn't want the public to know that he claims they only had oral sex. So This case would be extremely different if they both admitted to having had sex. It would be extremely
And
different.
I feel like every time she hires a new attorney, they have to go through this mental gymnastics. So on February 2nd, Clayton has a deposition and Jane Doe is actually there. On February 6th, Clayton's lawyer files a motion to get additional time in the trial
All right,
because
so
there's
so she goes through a lot of the information we've covered here, but I think that's great that she's covering it, and Megan Fox and the Umbrella Guy on YouTube and all these, and of course Legal Vices. This is really
It's that umbrella man. No, I'm just no, it's good, man. And like again, being the first person that covered it, being the person whose name's out there, you're going to take a lot of crap. Now, hopefully this is the last part of it. Oh, I don't know, man. Crazy people will always line up against you, though. They especially if they think you'll bend. I think you've handled it very diplomatically in this video. I think you talked about that. I'm going to let the rest of everything play on this. Typically, like I said, I don't like going through people's entire videos, but I thought this was interesting. If there would have been a document with it, and again, I understand why there's not a document with it, but if there would have been a document with it, you know. But since we went through this, like I say, if you would, go and sub Dave Neal and make sure you play this all the way through.
really big for journalism, for YouTubers. And I see a lot of journalists and YouTubers coming together here. And then when you factor in the fact that I'm a comedian, you see a lot of comedians that aren't going to stand for this, being namely Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn. And all of these comedians with some of the biggest platforms in the world will not stand by if a journalist and stand-up comedian is sued for defamation.
Nope.
They won't do it. There will be a war chest of legal funds raised into the 8 or 9 figure level, and I don't say that lightly. This sort of I'll be honest, comedians are pawn scum to the extent that they spend the majority of their career living out of their cars and in couches, and they don't really get intimidated well by like losing their fortune. In the arguments in emails sent to me, there was, saying, hey, would you really want to, I'm summarizing here, and I prefer not to. I prefer you to hear exactly what he said. But he said, justice for Clayton, bro. I want justice for Clayton as much as you do. I want justice for Clayton or Jane Doe, or whoever deserves it. We just don't know who that is yet, but we will. And I guess we will. We will find out who's going to be getting the justice. He says, there's one thing you should know. I am only here to help. If you think I am only here to help Jane, you're wrong. I have told her, and I've told Greg, the lawyer, and the same thing. If Jane is lying, I will withdraw from this case in a heartbeat. And if Jane is lying, she will lose this case. And I won't lose a wink of sleep over that. If Jane is lying, she should lose this case. I guess the argument that will be made as to whether he believes she's lying is whether he believes that she believes she was pregnant, in which case we won't even have to rely on medical evidence, because maybe there's some sort of, I don't know, medical condition where she actually believes she is pregnant. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that comes into this case at all. So this lawyer has asked me to not be
the mental illness out. Again, I don't think they'll argue that. I think they'll argue that, yeah, she filed this in good faith, therefore. That's going to be the argument. But worst case scenario, they can't argue. They could probably argue in the mental illness out. I mean, so many people were willing to concede that. I think that oftentimes bothers me too, as someone that has seen many, many mentally ill people, especially people that understand right from wrong. And I'm not diagnosing her. I want to make this clear. I'm not saying that she has a mental illness. I'm talking about the excuse of mental illness. I find the excuse of mental illness utilized in the justice system, that's disgusting. Because people can go out, they can say, oh, well, I had this issue. Particularly, again, with something like this, people want to look for a sympathetic answer. They don't want to look what might actually just be staring them in the face.
The guy who goes down with a sinking ship. he asked me, he basically sort of, explained how some of the lies that he thinks I have said are akin to how Trump lied. And, Trump was sued for 83 million and plus more than that, actually. But his case, of course.
So he compared you to Trump too? Oh my God. Did he talk about you pulling pages out of the Trump playbook too? That's so great. That filing was, oh my God. It was the ultimate trash fire. Oh, it sounds so funny.
This was against a lady who accused him of rape. And then that case was, of course, I believe adjudicated with a jury. All right. But he does say this, and I want to give him credit. He says, that doesn't mean you can't talk about the case. I'm not trying to censor you. Talk all you want.
Because he's got to dance.
Just be more careful. Like,
because he got to dance it. He's got to dance it as a free. I mean, again, you think about the guy and his selling point. I'm a free speech lawyer. You got to fucking dance. Oh. Mm-hmm.
A lot more careful. If you don't want to get sued into bankruptcy, you need to stop acting like those before you who ended up in that position. They were arrogant.
That's a threat.
They thought they were right. They believed the First Amendment would save them. They were all wrong in every way. I guess believing you're right is different. Well, I'd argue this. I don't believe in many things, but I believe I'm pursuing the truth. And I believe as a journalist, I am following the evidence and the facts, and I'm doing two things. I'm letting the audience come to their conclusion, and I'm also coming to my own conclusion. And where I stand right now is I believe that Clayton Echard is the victim of a kind of like a scam. That's what I believe. Would I look at evidence that maybe a medical provider would provide that she's believed she was pregnant and she Munchausen syndrome by proxy?
They believed that they were right. So you mean the limited public figure that would have to prove that they acted in actual malice? I mean, that they knew the statement was false or shown such reckless disregard for the truth, they should have known the statement was false. You tell me, with everything that's been discussed there, do you think that that's with such reckless abandon that they should have known? Because I would argue, show where.
Proxy or whatever the hell these different disorders are. Well, that's a whole different conversation that nobody's making online. But I did receive an interesting comment from, or I did see an interesting comment that said this: I think it's clear today that interacting with Jane's lawyer is only helping her. Yeah. He's using the information sent to him to form a better defense. It's best to let him figure it out on his own limited timeline instead of pointing out where his logic has holes. Imagine if he had presented the 102 HCG level in court as proof of a 20-week pregnancy of twins. As much as it pains me to say,
I can't tell you how many of these I have. All these different colors. I was someone who always...
that begs the question of having that type of discussion here as well. So I think the deal is this. I'm going to try to cover this case more so based on what goes through the court system. And if, I stumble upon new evidence I need to share, that's a different story, right? But, I think most of the evidence has already gone through the court system. Now, there will be experts that will weigh in on that evidence, and then the judge will make a decision. If she wins because she hasn't lied, well, that evidence will be there. And I just, we have, I don't know, there's hundreds of lawyers that are looking into this, both on the internet and lawyers in real life. And my lawyer, I've, obviously sent this email.
So you get the point here. Again, threats to sue. And again, the threat has not been one person. Again, the threat is people after she wins then. All right. I hear you. All right. Let's hit some super chats real quick. Super Sue, thank you for the gifted membership. Appreciate that. Thank you. Laura, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Thank you. Christine, thank you for the gifted membership too. And Fallen Hero, thanks for the gifted membership. Thank you. They fell all in a line there. That's kind of cool. Annabelle, thank you for the $2 super chat. No statement attached. Plenty of statement and backing. Thank you. Shelly, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Appreciate you. Subi Sue, thanks for the 10 there. Hey, Tug and Megan, much love. Hey, love return. Thank you. Annabelle, thank you also for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you. Chris, thanks for the 2 months there. Here for the Medium Smart reporting shenanigans. Yeah, tomorrow, by the way, we will be on the Medium Smart channel. I don't know what we're talking about tomorrow. Who cares? It'll be fun. For the soon-to-be infamous tramp stamp lawyer, be sure to smash that like and share the stream. Indeed. Enjoy it. Tracy, thanks for the 10 there. Here's to the cult cash for demonetization. Indeed, I wonder, we'll see where that one goes. Wendy, thanks for 5. Another bottom feeding, looking for 15 minutes of fame. Do you think he expected this kind of fame? Maybe. Maybe. I do think direct interaction is a problem with a lot of these folks because they will call it harassment. They'll call it a million different things. They'll call it all but what it is. Like people assume that someone trying to quote unquote educate them on themselves on a case that's made in good faith, and that may well be a mistake. Heather thinks so too. Everyone should go follow Dave. Yes, indeed. Again, Dave Neal. Make sure follow his channel. Period. I mean, he's a funny guy. He's such a very funny guy. It's great videos. I think he makes his points clearly, concisely. I think you'd enjoy his channel. So check it out for sure. Mistrust Luke, thanks for the 5. Got to give him the girl power version of T-Bag. A flappuccino. Oh, that's horrible. And that's horrible. Thank you for that. Rogue Mom, thanks for the month there. How can we support Dave besides subscribing, etc.? Well, if he ends up, if he does end up with this outcome that's being discussed, and God forbid, but if it does, then we will definitely, like from go, we will be talking about support for lawsuits or anything like that. But right now, he has links, Patreon, I give memberships, everything there. So you can go just support. And this case is woefully undercovered. What I mean by that is it's not very well known. It's known in its circles, but it's not as big as it should be. I mean, it has all of the elements that people will be like, what in the what? But Legal Vices, thanks for those squigglies. Hey, Dave. Keep my name out of your ducking mouth. Indeed. Indeed. Mimi, thanks for the 2 there. Fox. You were the Korean bulldog post. That's funny, actually. That's really funny. Tracy, thanks for the 2 there. Tug, call your lawyer, Adam Malton. Froggy Girl, thanks for the 20 months. I love listening to both of you streaming together. Can't we all just get along? Politics does not always play into things. If we don't agree, we do it. Cool. Yeah, exactly. I stream with people that I don't agree with on a lot of things. When I go again, when I talk about I think life's complicated. I think you can't adhere to a party to think that that's going to uncomplicate things. And really, I mean, I think it's over time, you see every party censor. They use different reasons for it. They take away things that you like. Mental health, I mean, that's evaporated in the States. The supports that we need for stuff. So even if there is money released, it goes to committees. It doesn't go to the on the ground support for things. So yeah, I mean, I think real life and in real life, you and I are very similar. We may disagree on things. We may vehemently disagree on things. But that does not mean at the end of the day that we can't get along and we can't unite and overcome things. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you look at something, most people are you're working toward the same goals. You may reach you may say something totally different. Like some people do not like what I have to say about listen and believe. I think that's dangerous. But some people are like, yeah, you trust statements. And again, I think I've made that clear. I'm not going to go over all that again, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because you're still working toward an end goal. And that end goal, it not only benefits in the immediate, it benefits survivors in the future, I believe. But yeah, that's a good point. Heather, thanks for the 5. I really, really, really want to see this documentary. I can imagine how embarrassingly hilarious this bot will be. I hope he enjoys it. Froggy Girl, thanks for the 5. I bet you live in a mansion in his head. I bet Megan does. I can just imagine all the scenarios. He plays on his head with you. Oh, no. I'll have to ask her about her headcanon mansion. What does she think goes on there? Emma, thanks for the 5. Did he say you lied for money? He literally does that for a living. Yeah, I'm going to say that's pretty much a lot of people's description of what a lawyer does. Heather, thanks for the 5. I had a miscarriage at 17 weeks and was able to bury my baby with my father. I had to have a DNC so records would exist. That's terrible. That's one thing, like I said, it bothers me because the things we see impact real people. They impact you just because people have been through horrible things, life-altering things. And yeah, you're talking about the documentation and everything else that's required with it too. Heather, thanks for the 5 there too. I was wondering if anyone close to her was pregnant at the time. Oh, well, that's true too. I didn't think about that. Just put a new thought out there. Non-flushing toilet water. LOL. That's true. Jess, thanks for the 5 there. I like how us are on YouTube, watching YouTube. Megan Fox and Tug, watching YouTube. Dave, watching YouTube Legal Advice about a new story. Inception ×4. That is very true. You know, going down the rabbit hole of coverage. Yeah, I would say, to be fair, man, check out Legal Vices for sure. I joke about Legal Vices because I like Legal Vices. He's fun. He's fun to stream with. He's fun to goof off with. I haven't done as much as I need to. I need to a lot more. Angel, what's up? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you too. Thank you. Lucretia, thanks for the $10 cockroach cash. Thank you, man. Right from under the fridge. Annabelle, thank you for the $5 super chat there too. Actually, it's not dollars, but still, it's my mind processes dollars. No statement attached, but as always, plenty of statement and backing. Thank you for your backing. Subi Sue, thanks for the 10 there. Cockroach cash. Much love to Tug and Mini Tugs. Thank you. BTM. Thanks for the 5. Watch Tom Anna's Borgia, Faith and Fear. I just watched that. I just finished it. I just finished the show. It's great. So I watched the Showtime Borgias, and I mean, both of the shows, they make up a lot of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of historical inconsistencies, and it's just show. I mean, we're not watching a historical documentary. We're watching a TV show. That being said, that show was awesome. Faith and Fear. Oh, it was so good. So I just finished it. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and Megan makes fun of it because anytime she pops in before the stream, we have like a backstage. You join, you set up everything, you talk for a few minutes, you make sure you just go over a few things, or you just cut up, whatever. And anytime she pops in, I'm usually listening to an audiobook, because I'm set up over, I'm not looking, there's not a TV or anything like that. And so I'm listening to it. And for the last few months, they've been about the Italian Renaissance. Really, I've been stuck on the Borgia Pope for a while, and then I ran out of books to listen to. I can only find like 16 books. I think there's a Dumas audio carryover that I haven't listened to yet. But besides that, I've pretty much covered everything else or exhausted those. So I was listening to some stuff on the Medicis. You know, kind of like I say, I get something in my head. It's the same way with coverage. I get something, I find it interesting, and it's there until I finish. But yeah, I like that series. What's up, King Leak, man? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for the 48 months. Holy crap, 48 months. Looks like Uncle Tug owes me a hug. I know, 48 months. That's crazy, my friend. Emma, thanks for the 5 there. Instead of listen and believe, it should be listen and ask for receipts. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with listening. It does. I don't know how to overcome the hurdle of the false allegation itself. Because again, I'm not saying all allegations are false either, by no means. There are true allegations. But the allegation itself, the way society perceives it now, it becomes true. When spoken, allegation equals substantiation, right from go. It doesn't matter anything else. I don't know a way to overcome that, because even if you're verifying, looking for receipts, whatever, you're treating that as if it's an event to disprove. And there's a poison in that, but there's no way to overcome that initial obstacle. So yeah, I think that's a good statement in it. What's up, King Lee? Thanks for the 20 there too. Some shekels for Lug and Bug. Appreciate that. Keep up the good work, Uncle Tug. Glad you're still doing what you're doing. Thanks for your advice from the other night. Meant a lot, brother. Now let's see some more defamation. I don't know where you saw defamation, man. Huh? You saw it in someone's head canon, apparently. You know what I mean? But no problem, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, old King of League, man. Way back in the, what was 2019? Yeah, we covered some stuff live and Anime Monster. A lot of fun. A great time there. Nocturnal One, thanks for the 15 months. Thank you, Tug, Dave. Have a great show tonight. Thank you. Snake Plushkin, thanks for 5. I'm filing a case against Tug because he psychically impregnated me. Disregard the fact I'll celebrate turning 75 next week. Did y'all hear about that guy who he supposedly so there was a comic artist that there were claims put against him, a bunch of claims. One of the claims was that he subliminally took advantage of people, like took advantage of women. I was like, how does that work? So when you read through the claim, they were like, he repeated key phrases and when he talked to me on the phone, and it made me have relations with him. And it was like, what? And that point was utilized like it had some kind of truth behind it. I mean, people picked it up and they were like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, how are you doing? Do you like my bedpost? I mean, really, I have this great place, and do you want to know about my bedpost? I was like, how is that playing out again? It sounded like a bad TV show. And Heather, thanks for the 2. Let's agree to disagree. It's the same for a reason. Indeed, it's the same thing with live and let live. I think people have forgotten that. They've forgotten it, and it's a damn shame. People need to get to the point where, again, it amazes me. Like I'll get emails and stuff, making demands on things that, like, tiny things. I'm not listening to you anymore because, and like, well, I appreciate you being here. If that's the way you have to go, then, I mean, you make decisions on what's there. I'm not asking anyone, but at the same time, we all will disappoint you that way. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to leave on a song. I'm going to play the song that I started with. I like that. I like that beat there. So I'm going to end on that. I appreciate you folks. It's been fun. And we will be on Megan Fox's channel tomorrow.
I like my haters like my coffee extra mad and bitter. And they're loyal like juicer, yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. I style faceless, just pick these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal clip. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my soles. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated outside 14s, crushing all those losers. It's that umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense our goal and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe is meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in the basket. With a tisket and a tasket and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make-believe and weaving straw to gold. But I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour. Baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. I'm dumping all my verbal clips. The case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, there in the chalk outline. I used to throw up elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn it before the state start channeling